Hey guys, it's Archon, developer of Stream Defense. First of all, thank you guys a bunch for playing my game because I couldn't make it if you guys weren't playing it, and that's awesome. But I just wanted to make this video because I had a lot of thoughts going through my head that I wanted to share with you guys, both just letting you know like the state of the game right now, but more importantly, to get some feedback from you guys because I have a lot of thoughts in my head and I have to figure a bunch of stuff out before I implement some systems, but I don't want to put a bunch of work into it and then figure out that you guys don't really like the changes. So I'm just going to lay everything out there that I'm thinking, and then I'd really like it if you guys could like comment below the video and just let me know what you're thinking. And you don't have to be nice about it if you don't want to. Just any thoughts. I hate this. I love that. What about this instead? Anything. So first of all, shards. A lot of feelings about shards. For anyone who doesn't know, gems used to be upgraded with gold, and now they're just automatically upgraded with shards that you earn at the end of each round. And I've gotten two real criticisms about this, and I just want to address each really quickly. The biggest criticism I get is shards suck. It takes so long for me to level my gem. Now, this is only true of people who have high level gems, because in the new system, shards level up your gem much faster than you used to be able to with gold until about level 10, and then it slows down. And by level 20, it slows down a lot. And this was intentional, mostly because the gem upgrade system is supposed to be like an unending progression system. I don't want it to be that, oh, you just grind for a few months and then you have a max level gem and you move on to something else. I want it to be like an underlying progression system that essentially never ends. I can't make it completely endless. There has to be some kind of power cap, otherwise things get ridiculous. But the idea is that it would take a very long time to get max level, and very few people ever would. And I know that's not exactly what everyone wants, but that part was intentional. However, I do want to address the other criticism, which is that it doesn't matter how good or bad you play, you get the same amount of gems. And I get that because in the gold system, the better you played, the faster you upgraded your gems, and it was kind of a reward for playing well. So I'm looking at other systems to make it so the good players can get some bonus gems, which will make you level up your gem a little bit faster and also reward you for playing well. I don't know exactly how that's going to go in. It might replace some of the gold gain, it might be an additional system, and I don't know how long it's going to take because I don't like to add things unless I'm confident that it's really going to improve the game. But hopefully, some opportunity reveals itself soon. Otherwise, I'll construct something. But I just want you to know that that is coming. So please don't hate on shards too much because I think the shard change was a necessary change for what I want to do with gold. And my idea for gold is that it would just be a currency to buy fun toys, essentially. Right now, you can use it to unlock spells and classes. That might change in the future. I would like that to be its own progression system. The main utility for gold would be to buy temporary power ups. So these would be like a class that you could buy, but you could only use it for one game. And during that game, the class would be overpowered essentially. Classes that are twice as powerful as the normal class, but they cost maybe 5,000 gold or 2,500 gold. I'm not sure, and you'd get them from one game, and you can kind of be like uber powerful every once in a while. Or there's going to be some team-based progression. I'm probably going to add a new currency called wood or lumber that the team earns. It belongs essentially to the game itself, to the stream. And then players can spend that wood for gold. So you spend a little bit of your own gold, and then you can spend wood for the team, and you can build semi-permanent buildings that get placed on maps. So there's going to be a list of buildings you could choose from, and if you have enough gold, you can choose one, use some of the lumber, build it, and it'll stay on that map for maybe like 12 games. And every time you play that map, all players will have access to a new building, which will change how you play. So one building, you might be able to pay a little bit of gold to get a full power bar, or you pay a little bit of gold and you get to double your player level once a game, or other more intricate systems that essentially would change how that game's played for the next, I'm thinking about 12 games, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, but just something to kind of change up the games and add a little bit of, like I said, semi-permanent upgrade to a specific map, and it's a currency that you're all working towards. And then to use the building, you would spend gold. So regardless, bottom line is gold would be used for a temporary increase in power. And so I didn't want you to have to choose between upgrading your gem, which is like a permanent progression, and doing something fun, getting some toys. I want those to be separate, so you're always progressing regardless of what you do. But then also you have some fun things to change up your gameplay, because let's face it can get kind of repetitive after a while. I want there to be fun, exciting things that make how you think about each game a little bit different. I have a lot of ideas there that I won't go into. The feedback that I really like from you guys is on how I go about introducing these gold sinks into the game. Because one glaring issue arises once I add systems for players to gain a significant increase in power for gold. And that is that suddenly high scores are going to have less to do with how well you played and more to do with how much gold you spent. And I don't like that at all. So there's two solutions I have and other possible solutions that you guys are free to offer, but let me throw these out there and hopefully get your feedback on it. One option would be to rethink this whole gold sink idea. Don't let you buy big, huge, powerful things for gold. Maybe you just get little upgrades for gold, or maybe you get just fun things for gold that don't necessarily make you more powerful. You can buy temporary classes for gold, but they're still balanced with the other classes. It's just that they're temporary, and so they're special because you can only get them every once in a while. Or the buildings still cost gold to use, but the buildings don't necessarily make you more powerful. They just allow you to do something new. So the increase in power would be minimal to none. It would just allow new strategies or new fun things that you can kind of show off. Like, look what I can do, I spent some gold. So that's one way to go about it. The other way to go about it would be to keep in the gold for power, but then get rid of the high score idea. Right now, every game is an endless game. You go until you lose. Another idea would be that every game has a certain wave you have to get to beat the level. And then once you beat that level, you'd get a harder version of the map. So my idea, if we went this route, would be a level select screen. Level select screen will probably happen either way, but in this version, the level select screen would start with maybe 1 to 3 maps unlocked, and then once you beat a map, you would get, I don't know, a star or some kind of currency. Let's call them stars for now, and that would belong not to the players but to the game itself. So the players are going through the game unlocking things by beating levels. So you beat a level, you get a star, and you unlock the next difficulty of that level. You beat the next difficulty of the level, you get a star. And maybe there's 5 difficulties of each level. Once you get a certain amount of stars, you unlock the next map. And right now there's 8 maps, we could add more, but essentially you just go through beating levels, unlocking the new levels, and unlocking new difficulties on those levels. And that way we could have a system where the first difficulty of a level is somewhat challenging for a new team, but then once you start getting these buildings, once you start getting the gold upgrades, then it gets a little bit easier. So if you don't beat it soon enough, it gets easier, and then you unlock the next difficulty, and then it's more appropriate. And then as you're getting more gold, things get easier, but you unlock harder and harder difficulties. Maybe the first difficulty is to beat wave 20, and the second wave could be wave 30, wave 40, wave 50, something like that. I don't know. Numbers would come later. You could figure out what feels good. But that way, we don't have the issue of high scores are only beaten by people who spend the gold, because high scores wouldn't be the issue anymore. It would just be about this progression of going through levels, beating them on different difficulties, unlocking them, and getting new difficulties. It would take away some of the competition, I think. You're not going for that high score anymore. We could keep a high score in points. Right now, points go out at the end of every 10 waves or every round. And so there could be a high score of points that you're still competing with, and that could still determine high priests. But the main goal wouldn't be to beat the high score. It would be to progress through the levels, unlocking new difficulties, unlocking new levels. And the unlocks could also be tied to buildings. Get a certain amount of star, you unlock a new building you can build on each map, or you unlock new classes. And then once you've unlocked everything, maybe there could be a reset, you start over, or some kind of prestige system where your whole team gets to keep something, but you start back and you start unlocking them again. it could go any way, but I just wanted to get your ideas on that. How do you feel about endless waves with high scores? Are you attached to that idea? Are you definitely want to keep endless waves high scores, or are you open to an idea that here's a set wave and beat it, you unlock stuff? Um, Basically, that was it. So I know I just threw a lot out there, but thank you guys for sticking around for the whole 10 minutes. And like, really, you might not think your thoughts matter that much to me, but generally, players tend to not share feedback because they think their opinion might just get drowned out or isn't that important. And it makes it hard to get feedback. So please, like, share it, whatever it is. Just even if you don't have a strong opinion, just yeah, that sounds good, or yeah, I don't really like that. Whatever it is, if you have a strong opinion, just please, whatever it is, I much appreciate it in the comments below, or on the stream defense forums, or when you see me on the stream. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you guys some time to do that before I make any decisions, and in the meantime, I'll probably touch up on a few small things. Either way, thank you guys for watching this, for playing the game. You guys are awesome, and I'll talk to you soon.